Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om. 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. Before we go to the text, we'll share one thing that was brought to our notice by one of our friends a few minutes back. Hot. The present, the future and the past is to be merged into present. For a restful, peaceful life, the future and the past has to be merged in the present. In which case, we become zero. Because actually there is no present. The moment we think about it, the moment it's over, no? It is going into the past. So actually there is no present tense in the real sense. And this present tense is the one, and the future and the past is the one which keeps this me and mine alive. Either I have anxieties of the future or the benumbing memories of my past. So actually when we go deeper and deeper into these words of that person, you really, maybe highly subjective, maybe a tall order, but that is the truth. How to become zero. That is why Papa was again a spontaneity. It is not colorized by anything. It is not a thought product. It is not influenced by any of what we have gone through. But it is spontaneous. When it is spontaneous, the me and mine is not there. So all these things, whenever I get angry, suppose I develop anxiety about the future, insecurity about the future, uncertainty about the future. Suppose these thoughts come, probably it might help, we don't know. Suppose there are tormenting, down-pulling, deplorable memories of the past that haunt me, immediately this might help us. But there are many things positive that really helps, that we have found. And thinking about the positive in the future, that also helps, no doubt. But in both, we find the me and mine is not there if you closely analyze. So this is something, it is a food for thought he gave. The future and the past should merge in the present. Then we realize we are zero. We also added one more. Not only zero, but it is infinite. Ananda. Pujyam Ananda. And then we come down to these are all too subjective. For a student of Papa's philosophy, actually there is nothing but Papa's philosophy. But still we can say that it has been introduced to us through Papa. So we say student of Papa's philosophy. These are all aids for developing the bhakti aspect. Subservience to a higher power is bhakti. Love for the higher power is the bhakti. Surrender to the higher power is bhakti. Always becoming aware of the power behind everything is bhakti. So we get clarity on that. Let us see what Papa says. Question: what are the different types of bhakti and how to practice them? Papa: according to the description given in the Gita, there are 4 types of bhakta: Artha, Arthati, Jijnasu, Jnana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in another Shastra, 9 types are described. You remember something now? Navavida Bhakti. Navavida narrated by, what is his name? Bangalore. Uddhav. Navavida Bhakti. Let us see whether Papa gives that description. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has spoken of 6 types. To describe all the different types will take a long time. So Ramdas shall tell you something about 2 types. Papa shows 2 types, Sakama and Nishkama. Most of us pray to God for the fulfillment of certain desires, for wealth, worldly position, and so on. This is the Arthati type of belief. Some pray to be relieved of their sickness and other forms of distress. These are the Arthas. The above 2 types come under Sakama Bhakti. In the Nishkama Bhakti, the devotee has no desires to be fulfilled. He says, "O God, I want you and you alone. I want to have your darshan. May I remain ever at your feet, realize my identity with you." With this sole aspiration, he always thinks of God. Praise to him, performs worship. Nishkama Bhakti is the higher type. If you ask for anything material, know fully well that you are asking for worry and trouble. If you pray for the cure of a disease, you may be cured of that for the time being, but your body will again be subject to disease. So also about wealth. It comes and goes. It cannot give you real happiness, but brings misery. What we should ask of God is communion and identity with Him. Having had so many satsangs of our talks, is it not becoming clearer and clearer to us that why should we develop this bhakti? Because whether I recognize Him or not, whether I know Him or not, whether I worship Him or not, whether I deny Him or not, He has never left me, Normally, we all expect, some recognition, something, some appreciation. But here, He gives me everything, my life. He gives me an entity called me. He has provided everything when I open my eyes. He provides everything for me. All my sense organs have got a field to know and research and enjoy. Still, I don't recognize him. Papa uses the word the great provider. That's right. First we did not understand why he has put the G capital, P capital. But then we came to know, no, he is the greatest provider, no? Very great. In spite of my all these nonsense, still he has not left me. Should I not love him? Kindly think about it. Sometime back we happened to go through a PPT. Where, this has been beautifully brought out. Right from the moment we get up till we retire to bed, every time the Lord is reminding us, at least you turn towards me, No, I am busy. I have to attend this, I have to attend that, I have to attend this, I have to attend that. So he patiently waits till we go to bed. Even then we don't care. Then he says, tomorrow morning he will be. That is his unbounded love. In spite of all these, each one can think about their age, how many years they have gone by. We all know that he came with nothing and everything has been provided by the great provider. And not only that he has provided and gone, he is with us. He has been with us. Perfect continuous. He has been with us. And through Mahatma, he is reminding us. Should we not? Though he doesn't require, having given us the freedom to think that I am an individual, should we not develop a relationship which is called bhakti? And what a sweet feeling develops in our heart when we think about it. He may be testing us, he may be subjecting us to go through many trying moments, trying experience. But still we are there today, Because of him, but for him we are there. Otherwise we are not. When we read, when you ask anything material, know fully well that you are asking for worry and trouble. So what we should ask of God is communion and identity with him. That we can complain. You are seated within me, but you are not making me aware of your presence. You can sit there, Human birth is a great gift of God. He has given us intelligence to discriminate between the real and the unreal. We know from experience that by getting attached to the unreal worldly objects, we do not get real happiness. So we should find out what will give us real happiness. Real happiness is for us only when we attain the eternal, not the ephemeral. We attain the eternal who is pure bliss, contentment or whatever you call it. Can you get the visions of January 2018? This realization we get by the proper use of the intelligence with which only human beings are endowed. So we should attain that eternal. No other species has been privileged. Only we are. Because human birth is a great gift of God. He has given us the intelligence to discriminate between the real and the unreal. To sit. Animals live to eat, sleep, procreate. If man also lives only for these, how can he be said to be in any way better than animals? God has given us this human body, not to live like animals, but to make use of it for the attainment of God. It is for the realization of the eternal that we are born. We have forgotten our real nature, which is eternal peace and bliss. We shall fulfill our life only if we realize our true nature. Now the question is, how to realize our immortal divine nature? For that we should approach God with Ananya Bhakti. Day and night our heart must pine for Him. What is the way to Ananya Bhakti? To intensify our love for God. We should have His name constantly on our lips and His remembrance in our mind. Name on our lips and remembrance in our mind. This is Upadana, which means sitting near God. By chanting His name, we become aware of His presence. Tulsidas says, as by a bridge we can go to both the banks of a river, even so by God's name we can attain both the Saguna aspect of God and the Nirguna aspect. He who has found sweetness in God's name and has it always on his tongue soon becomes a Jivanmukta. The terms Akhanda Namasmaran and Sharanagati, ceaseless chanting of the name and self-surrender indicate one and the same stage. Namasmaran is the basis of Bhakti. The Bhakta performs all his actions with God thought. That means subservience. Again we repeat, I am there because you are there. If you are not there, I cannot exist. You are in the form of intelligence, you are in the form of life force, you are in the form of love, you are in the form of truth, you are in the form of creativity, you are in the form of peace, you are in the form of stillness. You are motivating factor in things. So I keep reminding myself to become aware of His presence. The motivating factor. Even when I am asleep, you are there to guard me, next moment. At no time you are leaving me. The moment you leave me, I am not there. So our Nama chanting or any exercise should enable us to get fixed in this simple truth. He is not separate, He is not separate. In one of his quotations he says, He gives us the power to speak. Just imagine. And for that He prompted somebody to bring out the language. And but for this speech, how can we communicate each other? How can we harmonize with others? When He has given us a three-tier life, like family life, professional life, social life, communication is very important. Have I done anything for that? No. Only the great provider has given. Start thinking. When He says, the Nama, the lips and remembrance in the heart. How do we remember Him? He is not an object. Normally when remember something, it can only be on an object. A palpable, a tangible object. Here He is not. He is the very subject. So how can we say remember Him, remember Him, remember Him? It is easy to say that word. How to make it a reality? Only way is to see that He is there now. Now and here. In the form, Jivanam Sarva Bhuteshu. I am there in the form of life force in everything. Without life, I don't exist. Simple. Of all one quotation, is clarified. Life is the expression of all. Though seemingly two, they are one. How to remember? When we remember these lines, the other day we read with Rajdhani speed, so it would not have got registered in anything. Here are a few traits with which we can easily associate divinity, as they tend to give us inexplicable pleasant feeling because the predominance of me and mine is absent. There are about 61 traits. There could be more. But as we read itself, you can see that. Acceptance of every situation cheerfully. Acknowledging the success of others. You are revealed to that. Bravery. Unless we identify ourselves totally with the person or an object, bravery cannot come. Bereft of me and mine. If I think about me and mine, I may not do. It is spontaneous. Broad-mindedness. Generosity. Calmness. Cleanliness. Clearing misunderstandings. Commitment. Compassion. Concern for others. We have to watch ourselves. What sort of emotions well up, when we hear this. Contentment. Courage. Creativity. Dedication. Efficiency. Endurance. Equality. Equanimity. Excellence. Should we not salute? How the language has been brought and putting innocent words, C-O-N-T-E-N, T-M-E-N-T, contentment. What does it touch and give in that? See the powerful aspect of that word. It becomes a word, simple alphabets are put together, and from there, you find how it touches and kindles nobler, higher emotions in our heart. So think about the person who conceived this word, how God made him to conceive this word. Only a spiritual background can do that. Excellence. Faithfulness. Consideration. Concern for others. Consideration. When we started we said this is quality, care and concern for others. Not mere concern. Quality, care and concern for others. Feeling for others. Feeling oneness. Forgiveness. Frankness. Fraternity. Friendship. Fullness. Generousness.
Fear. Courage. Fear also is coming courage.
No. Fearlessness. Abhayam. Abhayam can come only when we love everybody. There is no otherness.
Empathy.
Empathy, yes, you can add. This is not to be limited to 61. That is how, it is instrumental in touching and kindling. That one with which we are aligned. That is the purpose. Good. Gratitude, honesty, humility, innocence. The moment we say that, what happens in our mind? What an innocent being he is. Childlike vision, childlike, this all can be added. Kindness, love, orderliness, patience, peace, perfection, perseverance, presence of mind. We all use these words. Automatically it comes and we use them as that. God, who is the great provider, sits inside, prompts us with these words so that we will enjoy His nearness. But unfortunately, we are not even recognizing that in spite of His bounteous providing. Regularity, reverence, sacrifice, satisfaction, self-control, self-effacement. And only subservience will come, subservience to a higher ideal, self-effacement. I am not there. I am there because of you. Selflessness, service, sharing, Shraddha, simplicity, smile, sportiveness, sportsmanship, surrender, tenderness, tolerance, truthfulness, understanding others, uprightness. We are trying to understand Papa's words on Nishkama Bhakti. So we have now try to interpret it in our own language, If we just read and hear, it is not our language. Outer hearing or reading will be instrumental in touching and kindling our own language, which is called the feeling. If every time this alignment is not taking place, it becomes superficial, surface level. It doesn't go deep. When means it is not going nearer to Him. Papa wanted everyone to have Ananya Bhakti, exclusive devotion. For that we should approach God with Ananya Bhakti. Day and night our heart must pine for Him. So these 50, it can become 100, 200. Suppose we make it, that's it, every day suppose we make some effort. We will find our own language to connect us with Him. We need our language. Somebody's language, it becomes academic, to be blunt. But the academic, it should enable us to touch and kindle our own language. Then we are moving nearer and nearer and nearer to Him. Otherwise it is definitely a surface level or a superficial level. Unknowingly, We encourage that. He is sitting in us. He is waiting for us to get ourselves connected. But again we go by the surface level. The Bhakta performs all his action with God thought. Such actions are known as Satkarma. That is the three words we normally use. Satyanam, Satkarma, Satsang. Service done to saints, orphans, 6% are particularly good. By such service, our mind becomes pure, ego disappears. While serving anyone, we must have remembrance of God and must feel we are only serving Him. This is the practical way. Any work done with the thought of God and for the attainment of God is Satkarma. SAT Sat stands for eternal. That's why we said it is only a word. Literal meaning, no. We should get our own meaning. When we do all work for His sake and in a spirit of surrender to Him, we become His instruments. When we do all work for His sake, He is prompting us to read now this. Your job is to read fast. Your job is to dwell more and more on it fast. Like that, no? Your job is to understand the language behind it. And in a spirit of surrender to Him, we become His instruments. Then our work will be for the welfare of all mankind. All the saints and sages of the world have been declaring from time immemorial that human life is meant for the attainment of this goal and not for leading the life of animals. God has given us this human birth so that we may reach Him, so that we may have knowledge of Him and attain eternal freedom and peace. Those who do not strive for this will be subject to the cycle of birth and death. We have to remember that it is after many rounds of birth and death as lower animals that we have been granted this precious human birth. Jandunam Narajanma Durlabhamadam. Durlabham Trayame Vai Tad. Devanugraha Hetukam. Manishyatvam, Mumukshatvam, Mahapurusham. In Vivekadamani, Adi Shankara clearly says this. It is durlabham, it is very rare to get this human birth. And then the intense aspiration to realize it. Manishyatvam, Mumukshatvam. Then Mahapurusham, the company of great souls. These things are very, very rare. Having got this, Ranganathanji Maharaj says in another way, this is a ship. This ship, we have paid costly currency to get this ship. And later on we know this is going to develop a lot of holes. Before it develops holes, we have to cross over. This ship, we have paid a costly currency. That's what it is. We have to remember that it is after many rounds of birth and death as lower animals that we have been granted this precious human birth. We have paid costly currency. And no doubt it is going to develop holes. And what will happen? Before it develops, we have to cross over. We should not therefore waste this human life in pursuit of the objects of the sense world. Verily, this human life is the doorway to liberation. did Swamiji say? Gateway to liberation. Human birth is a gateway to liberation. So let us therefore always remember our goal. This human life is the doorway to liberation. That is why he has facilitated everything like this, so many institutions. He has got so many departments, but he has also put this department here. The one CEO, he has got many. He brings out doctors, engineers, scientists, farmers, accountants, chartered accountants, so many. And he has set up so many establishments to so many of people. He has also set up institutions like this. So that while he makes us to involve in all those things, probably we might lose touch with the original goal. What is the goal? That he is the boss. He is the boss who has made me what I am. To work out his will. To work out his plan. To work out his program.
He treats, he cures.
The doctor used to say, we treat, he cures. That is the link, God thought, he says, every time you have to bring in any profession. We have seen many people working in different fields. They always have this, by God's grace, So we should not therefore waste this human life in pursuit of the objects of the sense world. Verily, this human life is the doorway to liberation. Let us therefore always remember our goal. Let us not be misled and dragged away by worldly desires and temptations. Let us not waste this life by running after ephemeral things. God is a Kalpadaru, a wish-yielding tree. He gives us whatever we ask for. So let us ask only for eternal union with Him. But how many of us really want Him? This is how He introduces the bhakti. So we will try to see now what is bhakti. Bhakti is nothing but how can we describe it? Normally we say love. So we can say love for the great provider, gratitude to the great provider, subservience to the great provider. Like that, we keep on remembering. Yesterday or day for yesterday, he told us, and he has come in the form of universe before us. So when I deal with men and matters, I forget. I have my own norms. I forget him. I think that is the norm, final norm. Then he gives me kicks or knocks, or a satsang, or a company of somebody, or touches and pinches in a mysterious way. Oh, then I realize, yeah. So bhakti, we can bring it out like this. Simple remembrance, Simple remembrance of it. He says chanting of the name through the lips and remembrance of God through the mind. And He is real love. And bringing in all these, every time the dimension that He is making. We need not be vocal, but deep within our heart, suppose we have that. That will pave the way for a life free from grumblings and complaints. We remember that word of Guru Nitya Chaitanya. In his last letter, he says, there is no grumbling. When I look back, before he talked to the body, he wrote a letter. And he had sent, nobody knows, none of his devotees and disciples knew about it. He had silently posted it. After he talked to the body, 2 days later, it was printed. Then only they came to him. Luckily, one devotee brought it out in a small book of various memoirs, along with that his letter. That is how we came to know. It's a book, it is written in Malayalam. We have translated in English. We should not remember whenever we think about bhakti. is that when I look back, no grumbling, no complaints. The contentment, how can it come? Only when we remember Him. Na? We are full. There is no insufficiency. There is no incompleteness, inadequacy. No. Full. No.
No want.
No want. Absolutely no want. Everything is provided. Then why should I ask? Even today, many of us are not fully convinced. But 91 years he has been running this ashram, na? Just imagine. Simple one quotation. God arranges all things in His own way. At the time He appoints. We have faith in these words, but we have no trust in these words. We have faith, no doubt. But with all that we will say, what will I do tomorrow? So we have prayed to Him, you are with me, you will guide me, you have been guiding me. It is not a cock and bull story, it is not somebody's theory. It is a living truth for me, I have to verify myself, that's all. He has been with me, He has been guiding me, I have lived all His life. Because of Him, still I don't have trust in Him. What a paradox. Think about it. Every moment, He is with us in some form or other. Still we refuse to recognize, but He still doesn't relieve us. The Bhakti path is very, very sweet, no doubt. Because there we find, the unbounded love for us, unconditional love for us. He doesn't put any condition, no part. That is why then that particular prayer, Thy glory. To make, to unmake, You have given me. You have given me that capacity, But I forget to recognize the current behind this, the power behind this. Still you don't bother. You don't mind. When we were prompted to bring out the small booklet called In Search of Papa, we wanted some illustrations. So, the sapling, nowadays we are planting, sapling. It needs a small fence to protect. So when it grows, it outgrows the fence. It's not that deep. But all the time, we are well protected. When the sapling is sure of protecting itself, the outer protection is removed. That's all. Similarly, God has been with us right from our childhood. Whenever we needed, He made us aware. Something in the form of mother, in the form of parent, in the form of teacher, Then later on, we outgrew everything. But we forget that He has given. I remember. So at the time of writing that, one of our ashram gurus, he said, normally, unknowingly we may say, I am a self-made person. Yeah. So he says, he allows him to say that, but sitting inside he will be smiling. He is the one who gives you the power to express his words. Still you say, I am a self-made person.
I am independent.
Shiju immediately thought this beautiful. O Lord, I have nothing to ask of you. I am blessed with all that one can hope for, ask for. I have a mind to think. It is thy glory. I have eyes to see, ears to hear. All these are thy glory. I have in front of me a world so vast and so variegated enough for me to express myself. Again it is thy glory. I don't like garlic. Okay, need not. I don't like onion. Okay. I like this. Yes, I take. What a variety is given. Just imagine. I have in front of me a world so vast and so variegated enough for me to express myself. Again it is thy glory. I can make, I can unmake. All these possibilities are again thy glory. I can even make this prayer to you. If you are not there, how can I pray? How can I offer this prayer to you? This capacity to appreciate you is again thy glory. What a beautiful word. Dayanji Maharaj has composed this poem. I seek from thee nothing, for you have given me everything. You see something, You have given me everything. How can we have grumbling and complaining? Inside me, outside me. Your presence is something that I can't miss. I don't want to miss. Inside me, outside me, your presence is something that I can't miss. I don't want to miss. Final capping is super. Let thy grace be upon me, not to gain anything new, but to make me see thy glory. In all my achievements, in all my capacities, let me see thy glory. O Lord, I have nothing to ask of. When you said, full, no want. I have nothing to ask of. So to understand bhakti, all prayers are beautiful. But some prayers are more beautiful than all. O Lord, I have nothing to ask of you. I am blessed with all that one can hope for, ask for. I have a mind to think. We recently went to Wayanad to buy some saplings. Then we got saplings from local also. Day before yesterday we planted the wood. Today morning also we went there to see. There were about 59 different types of fruits plants. Varieties, How they came. Each one is distinct, each one is unique. What's the origin? What all you have provided for us, Simple. One act, Today we planted coffee and tea. Everybody has got some, it's so dear to me. 99.99% of the people here, I don't know about 10%. Either they want this group, coffee or tea. Where from it has come? Today when we planted, after planting, at that time we will not be remembering. Just start thinking. When Balakrishnan comes and says coffee or tea, he comes with this. At 3 o'clock or morning, 6 o'clock, when he comes and gives you coffee or tea, where from it comes? What all he has provided? A coffee seed, it has to undergo certain process, orderliness, perfection, excellence, everything is there. Then it becomes a coffee berry, we call it a berry. Cherry. And then after its maturity, when it becomes fully ripe, we pluck it, then we dry it. Drying is a process where it gets detached from the husk. We do like this. 10 berry we take it. Then it's all there. The test weight is there. Then it's also there. Then you can sell it for hulling. Then the husk is removed. Coffee seed comes. Then the coffee seed is roasted. Then it is ground. Then you put it in the percolator. The decoction you get, with that you add whatever you feel like. It is there on your table. A cup of coffee or tea. In the case of tea, the leaf. Tender leaf. We are injuring the tree. But it's still because it's God's creation. He doesn't mind. Every time a new tender leaf comes, here. That only. And that has to be processed. Immediately within 24 hours, it has to be processed. And through that process, it becomes a tea leaf. Then there are about so many types of dust. Red dust, golden dust, Peko dust, so many things we have forgotten now. When you go to the tea factory, they will take you around. And from the leaf, when it is comes to that dust or leaf, then it comes in the market white. Then the process comes and it is on your table. What all he has provided? I don't like tea. Okay, you can have tea, coffee. I don't like coffee and tea. Or cocoa you can have. I don't want something else. Variety. Just think. I have a mind to think, it is thy glory. I have eyes to see, ears to hear. All these are thy glory. Have we ever recognized? Just like we don't recognize our breathing, It is automaton, So we don't recognize. But if the breathing stops, or if there is a struggle for breathing,
Swamiji, we are getting satsang every day because of His glory.
Because of?
His glory.
Because of
yeah. Sure. He facilitates everything. Every moment. Spirituality is not to be postponed, later we will plan training. No. Now and here. Papa wants us to develop this bhakti aspect in us. This harmonious relationship with the great provider. And so, when he has given us the holy and all-powerful Naam, many a times, it slips into superficial activity or a lip-level activity, hardly bringing along with it the remembrance aspect. So, in order that we are reminded, he makes us to read his own book, Papa's book, or makes us to go through such touching prayers. Now and here, that we should not lose sight of. I have eyes to see, ears to hear. Suddenly I remember, I have not recognized the seeing capacity. I would have read the Kenopanishad. I would have been able to quote Kenopanishad. That because of which, Shrotasya Shrotram Manaso Mano Yadu Vachoha Vajam Pranasya Prana Chatura Chatru Adimuchadira. All those things we would have learned, but we don't recognize, eye of the eye, mind of the mind. What is the seeing power behind the eye? Eye is a biological, it's an organ, We go, whenever there is any trouble, we go to the doctor and get it done. But the seeing capacity, the seeing power, the hearing power, the tasting power, the smelling power, the touching power. I have eyes to see, ears to hear. All these are thy glory. I have in front of me a world so vast and so variegated, enough for me to express myself. Again it is thy glory. I can even make this prayer to you. This capacity to appreciate you is again thy glory. Simple, no tall talk. Directly linking us with him. I can even make this prayer to you. This capacity to appreciate you is again thy glory. I seek from thee nothing. For you have given me everything. If this is writ large in our mind, we have reached the goal. No? I seek from thee nothing. For you have given me everything. Inside me, outside me. Your presence is something that I can't miss, I don't want to miss. I can't miss. Because I will not be there, no? Let thy grace be upon me, not to gain anything new, but to make me see thy glory. In all my achievements, in all my capacities, let me see thy glory. O Lord, I have nothing to ask for. Swami Omkarji, every day Mataji wanted us to go to universal prayer, peace for world peace. Adorable presence, thou who art within and without, above and below and all around, thou who art interpenetrating the very cells of our being, life force, no? The life force entering into us through the gateway of our nostrils and the mouth. It is all pervading. It is coming, So it is there, who are within, without, above, below and all around. Thou who art the moment you enter, you are interpenetrating to all my cells. That is why the entire figure, entire individuality becomes vibrant, lively. When a tiny little ant come and touch your toe, immediately you become alert. Thou who art interpenetrating the very cells of our being, thou who art the eye of our eyes, ear of our ears, heart of our hearts, mind of our minds, breath of our breath, life of our life. We can choose anyone through which we can try to understand our own language. We say, life of our life. We have understood life, that which is between the date of birth and the date of death. But there is a life force behind it. The life of our life, the soul of our soul. Bless us, dear God, to be aware of thy presence now and here. This is all that we ask of thee. May all of us be aware of thy presence in the east and the west, in the north and the south. May peace and goodwill abide among individuals as well as communities and nations. This is our earnest prayer. May peace be unto all. First part deals with the individual and him, the adorable presence. The second part, adorable presence and the universe outside. They are all interlinked, interconnected, Universe and me is interconnected, interlinked, interdependent. Is it not? Without air I cannot live for a moment. Adorable presence, A&P capital. Thou who art within and without, above and below and all around, thou who art interpenetrating the very cells of our being, thou who art the eye of our eyes, ear of our ears, heart of our heart, mind of our mind, that which is making me to think. Mind is nothing but thought. The one which pulsates, motivates, activates my thinking. Mind of our mind, breath of our breath, life of our life, soul of our soul. Bless us, dear God, to be aware of Thy presence now and here. This is all that I ask. So, like that, we will today, Papa wanted us to concentrate on the word bhakti, which is nothing but a harmonious relationship with Him, the great provider. And He has provided so many inputs for us to get ourselves stabilized in that truth. We know, but we do not know. Intellectually we know, experientially we do not know. So He has provided what is to be given from outside. Now we have to somehow do the welding. And He has given us the tools. So let us all pray to Him. To give us the, in spite of all these things, my mind is going out. My mind can go out provided I find that you are making me to go out. But I fail. So kindly bless me. Be seated within me. Why are you delaying? Yesterday evening, the bhajan was Manasa Vacha Karmana Nirantaram Nina Smarikunu. Ennittum ennodu kanivu kaata namantanante pannamme. By thought, word and deed, I am remembering. Firstly, why are you delaying in making me aware of your presence? This sort of pining for Him, an intense aspiration. This is what Papa calls it as Ananya Bhakti, exclusive devotion. Let us all pray to Him from the bottom of the heart to initiate us into a process by which we get more and more strengthened. Hari Om. Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om. Pranam, pranam, pranam.